Well, summer is once again going out with a bang. The Western and Southern WEBN Fireworks this Sunday, but just a few years ago, the fireworks show was not a given. Western and Southern stepped up to make sure the end of summer stayed an important time in the tri-state. Kim Chiodi and DJ Hodge with Western and Southern join us now to talk about the big show. And, you know, Western and Southern dabbles in a few important things around here in the tri-state.
One or two.
Yeah, just a couple. Why was it so important, do you think, to keep this particular event, to keep it chugging along?
Yeah, well, you know, it's important that Cincinnati be a place that we can all really appreciate living in. And these traditions are important. Traditions like fireworks. People say, what are you doing for fireworks? They don't say, what are you doing Sunday? They say, what are you doing for fireworks?
Right.
And so it was important for us to be able to support that.
Yeah, and anymore, with the number of ways Cincinnati is being recognized nationally, you know, it's important to have a fireworks show that is also sort of nationally recognized. This is not some backyard, you know, performance where a guy's got an old boombox up in the air. This is something huge.
No question, and I don't think anybody thought 42 years ago when this started that this would turn into something like this, but Kim's exactly right. This is one of the pillar events in our community. So for us to be able to bring this to the community, 500,000 people come down, many hundreds of thousands more watching on Local 12. It's an amazing event, and it's one of the things that we were talking about off air. When people move to this city and they hear about a fireworks show, they're like, oh, that's going to be nice. And then they go to it the first time and they're overwhelmed with the size of it. Yeah. It's really something the community is known for.
And DJ, just to clear up, with iHeartMedia.
I am, yes, sorry.
Owner of WEBN. Also wanted to talk to you guys about how things sort of evolve every year. You know, first of all, the fireworks, there's always one new and you're like, I've never seen something like that before. But things like the tent for moms and things like that, there's always a twist to make it even more an amazing experience.
Well, and I think what's really exciting is every year there's a different theme for the music. And so it's not the same each year. You're seeing something different and hearing something different every year.
Yeah, and for putting the music together, for the people who are involved with that, that's a challenge.
Oh, it's something we take very seriously. And to Kim's point, we have a theme this year, space, the Big Bang. We start on the soundtrack months and months ago. Western and Southern is involved in what things they want to see in the soundtrack. And it's a small group of people. Like that soundtrack doesn't get heard by more than 3 or 4 people until we send it over to Joe Rossi and his team to sync up the fireworks with that.
Yeah, now I was saying you guys probably end up with pretty good seats for the show. But when you're down there in that sort of mass of humanity, 500,000 plus, 500,000 plus people down there. For folks who have never been, describe what that sensation is like. Not just the fireworks, but the people.
Yeah. It is a giant party, but it's a party where everyone is looking up. And when you hear that, ooh, it's all in sync. Everybody's oohing and awing together. It is a crazy good time.
And that finale is, I mean, because you know in the finale, sometimes you think you know when the finale's there, but it's not really there until it's boom, 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 boom. And we were talking about that. It's not just an experience for your eyes and your ears. You feel it.
It shakes your chest for sure. When those fireworks come to a crescendo at the end and the music is going and the fireworks are exploding, your chest is thumping, and it's a sensation you can't emulate anywhere else.
It's kind of an odd question, maybe, but you know, with this huge party coming up for
Kim
you guys,
will take it.
You ready? How about maybe both of you? How do you feel sort of about the state of this city and this area right now? Because again, I mentioned the national recognition we're getting from different media outlets and things. It's sort of a good time to be in Cincinnati.
It's a good time, and that's been building over the last 15 years or so. 15 years ago, people didn't want to come downtown, and now downtown is the place to be. And whether it's the banks or it's uptown or on the river, it is the place to be, not just for fireworks, but all year round.
Yeah, and Western and Southern, a big part of that. iHeartMedia too. Yeah, so I mean, for you guys to have sort of your finger right on the pulse of one of the biggest events in a city that's doing so well, it's got to be so meaningful for you.
Well, listen, I've been in this market my whole life, and so I am blessed because not only do we have the fireworks with Western and Southern, but we have play-by-play with the Reds and Bengals and UC and Xavier. We're very much a part of the fabric of the community, and to Kim's point, this region is a great place to live. There's so much to love about the greater Cincinnati area, and we take a lot of pride in delivering this.
That's why we like having local in front of our name, too.
There you go.
No question. It's important. Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Bob, thanks for having us.
Let's have a party this weekend.
You bet.
There you go.